together.
We're here, guys.
Yay!
Welcome to Spooky Okie.
I'm Madison.
And I'm Catherine.
And today we have a true crime episode. And
Yay!
also, it's girls' night. So
it's girls' night.
Hang out with us on girls' night. Should we tell them what we're doing for girls' night?
Yes.
We're having a vision board party because we're recording on the 5th, January 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get our New Year's thing. We didn't get to do the vision board and all that stuff. So we're going to get to that tonight.
Yep. Gotta manifest our goals.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great time.
So excited.
Mm-hmm. So we're also going to watch Jury Duty. Love Jury Duty.
Never seen it before, so I'm super excited.
It's so funny. It was either that
or rewatch dating hashtag no filter for the third time.
Or I could have tried to make her watch Yellow Jackets, but
that's so intense.
I know. I'm trying to make everybody in my life watch it, and it's not working out too well for me. So I did make my sister watch all of it though.
Nice.
She loved it.
You also have never given me your password so that I can watch it.
I haven't. No. It's really weird to record in person because I don't know if I should look at you and talk
or look at the camera.
Yeah. So I'm just going
back and forth. Same.
Yep. So anyway, I'll give you my password so you can watch Yellow Jackets.
Yes, please.
But also I want to watch Yellow Jackets with you.
I know. Maybe we'll watch an episode of Jury Duty and then we'll watch an episode of Yellow Jackets and then watch more Jury Duty to recover from Yellow Jackets.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. My favorite show is so horrible and awful and wonderful.
I got you turned on to Handmaid's Tale.
That's true.
So
it evens out.
Yeah. Because that one's real dark.
I love dark shows.
When I first started it with a college friend, we would watch it and then watch Disney movies to recover.
You have to with that one. It's intense.
It's a lot.
Who's going first? Is yours tragic? Because mine is funny.
Okay, then let's end with yours. Because mine, it's, I don't know. It's not the darkest ever.
Okay.
But
do we need to say anything else before we get started? What are you putting on your vision board? What are your goals? Oh, well, we already talked about our goals for the year in another episode, but what are you putting on your vision board?
Oh, I wasn't sure what my goals were, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, so I have fitness goals. I want to work out at least 3 times a week.
Nice.
Consistently. Mm-hmm. So my thing is I will work out really good for a few weeks and then my routine will get upset by something and then I won't work out good for a few weeks and then I'll work out good for a few weeks and then I won't. So my goal is to work out 3 times a week consistently. If I can work out more, that's great. Mm-hmm. But my minimum of 3. As well as consistently getting 9,000 steps in a day.
Okay.
So
I like it.
And I'll skip over my financial. I want to get a part-time job. That's part of my financial. Unless people start, supporting us on Patreon. I don't need to.
Patreon, so Catherine doesn't have to get a part-time job. And help me buy a new car.
Yeah.
Please.
Career, I want to start taking Preply lessons for Spanish speaking because I want to improve my advanced Spanish speaking skills so I can get my translator certification.
Yes. Awesome.
So, and then finish my teaching certification.
Yeah.
So
nice. Mine are, what are my goals? They obviously really stuck with me. I'm taking them really seriously because I don't remember what they are.
Oh, I also want to meditate more, read more, and do more Bible study. That's also,
My goals are to have $10,000 in my savings account.
Nice.
We'll see if that happens. And also to have a new car.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's gonna have to be the new car because my car, Veronica, is struggling.
She's a hot mess. She's driving the struggle bus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is the struggle bus.
She is the struggle bus.
So I want a new car. I want to get a hybrid.
Nice.
And then I also want to read 5 books a month.
That's a lot.
Which is a lofty goal for somebody who's not reading any books at all right now. But
my read more goal is 5 pages a day, and hers is 5 books a month.
The problem is I really thick classic novels. I was in a bookstore the other day, and I was like, oh, I want to read Anna Karenina again. I want to read giant Russian novels. I just want to read War and Peace.
You need to read all the Kingsmen.
Yeah.
Talk about a thick book.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I love that. But I don't know that I'm gonna be able to read 5 a month. Maybe I should rethink that. It's fine. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
I can do it. Aim high.
Maybe you pick a page amount, like per month. Okay.
I want to finish the books. I need to finish books, or I won't feel like I've accomplished anything.
What if you do like you're gonna read 800 pages a month?
No.
Okay. Okay, never mind.
I do what I want.
Sorry, I do it my way.
Fine. Okay, we should get started on these stories.
Yeah, we should.
Because then we can get to girls' night.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready for my case?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you have something to tell me, right?
I do have something to tell you.
Podcast.
Yes. Okay.
Does that get to come at the beginning of the story, or do I have to find out later?
You will find out very shortly.
I've been waiting for hours already.
Okay, so today I am talking about Rex Brinlee Jr.
Great, never heard of him.
Never heard of him? Great. I haven't either, and I don't know how. This is an insane case.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me read off my sources.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, we've got historicalcrimedetective.com, the MuskogeePhoenix.com, TelequaDailyPress.com, CNHI News.
Cool.
McAllisterNews.com, Oklahoman.com, and FilmFreeway.com. So,
is there a movie about this?
there is a documentary that has been made about this case.
Okay.
And I am related to the producer.
No way.
Yes. Through marriage, but still related. So, Rex Brinlee. Okay, so this story starts off with a bang. Literally.
Great. Good start.
On February 2nd of 1971, it was a normal work day in Bristow, Oklahoma, and Dorothy Day Fern Boulding went to warm up the truck that her husband normally drove. She starts it and the truck explodes.
No.
Sending her into the neighbor's yard.
Oh no.
On fire. In multiple pieces.
Oh.
So,
That's awful.
yeah. The bomb had actually been meant for her husband, Don Boulding, as a message from Rex Brinlee. Bum, bum, bum. So Rex Brinlee Jr. was born on December 23rd, 1923 in Tulsa. His mother described him as bad seed.
Oh, when your own mom says that.
When your own mom is like,
Yeah.
he's rough. Yeah. So this is a quote from Rex Brinlee, and this just kind of states his personality.
Right.
I'm like a rattlesnake. I won't come looking to bother you, but if you bother me, you'll hear my rattles.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So Rex Brinlee had a criminal record by the time he got to Tahlequah. He had been a grocer and a plumber, but when he got to Tahlequah, he bought a ranch just outside of Tahlequah. He also owned a plane, and he used this plane to scout out where people had cattle and farm equipment.
Mm-hmm.
He did that during the day, but at night, he and his men would load up cattle and equipment. Yeah.
Bad seed, all right.
Mm-hmm.
What a snake.
Yeah. And like a snake, he's good at getting out of tight spaces.
Of course he is.
Yes. In 1965, he was convicted of cattle rustling. But a few years later, due to hiring some very good attorneys, they appealed the case and got it overturned.
Is he a white man?
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Amazing. He called himself the Mays County Flying Bandit. Like, he publicly called himself this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. He kept receiving charges, but they kept getting dropped due to lack of evidence.
Of course he did.
He also had a history of threatening people to get what he wanted. So there's multiple stories. I didn't include all the stories in the notes. So guys, seriously check out the documentary called Brinlee. It's online. You can watch it. It's got so many details, extra stories.
Okay.
He has a lot of people from the town that he's brought in to interview in the documentary. Really good, especially if there's anybody here that's not from Oklahoma. You've got some great Oklahoma accents in those witnesses, by the way. So definitely check it out.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. So like at one point, like I didn't put this in my notes, but at one point he was behind on paying for his propane, and he kept like bringing ground beef as a down payment for it to the guy, and then the guy comes by. So Rex also had a string of businesses that he owned. He owned like an apartment complex, he owned like a couple of bars, he owned a restaurant. But the propane guy drove by the restaurant, and there was a competing company's propane truck filling up the tank, and he calls Rex and he's like, hey, that's not cool, like this is not how this is gonna work. And Rex is like, I've always wondered what would happen if I blew up a stick of dynamite around a really large propane tank.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a bad dude.
So in the mid-1960s starts a string of bombings in Tahlequah.
What?
How did we never hear about this?
Never heard of that.
Like, I don't even go into all the details. There was a ton of different bombings. At one point, there were 3 bars that were bombed in an hour in one night. What? Yes.
I've never heard of that.
No.
Wild.
So many people thought it was Rex Brinlee. Some also thought it could be the Dixie Mafia.
That's a thing?
It was a Southerner mob.
Not surprised, but
yeah.
Wow.
But their headquarters were in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I still don't, I listened to them say that so many times on the documentary, and I still don't know that I'm saying it right. Biloxi.
I think so.
Mississippi. Okay.
That's what I've always called it.
Okay.
Not in the many times in my life that I've said that. Which I think literally just now. I think that's the first time I've ever said it in my life. That's how I say it. So
that's where the Dixie Mafia was headquartered. Okay. But they thought he might have ties to them. He just had this very like mobster mentality.
Yeah.
In the documentary, they even talk about some sort of story where he goes to Vegas and like is basically outwitting the casinos with some of the games, and he fully expected to die because the mob ran the casinos, but never got killed by the mob. And so they're like, does he have a mob tie? Like, yeah. Anyways, yeah. The documentary goes into that in detail too. It's really interesting. But so bad dude threatens to get his way, thinks he's above the law. Enter Bill Bliss. Bill Bliss, assistant district attorney, was determined to get Rex. He was determined that the town needed to be free of him, needed to get out of this fear because everybody was afraid of the guy. Yeah. I mean, he's threatening everybody. Yeah. And he's not getting charged with it, or if he gets charged, it goes away. Right. So
it's like that one guy that I covered where they just like shot him.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad. He kept getting away with everything.
So, he led a series of raids on Brinlee's bars.
Oh, okay.
Let Brinlee know that he was done with his crime. This blew my mind. Okay, so apparently they tell in the documentary, Brinlee went to Bliss's house. This crazy guy went to the district attorney's house and threatened him until the district attorney bodily threw him out of the house.
It's insane.
And he didn't file charges.
Why did he not file charges? That's what I was thinking. Was like, you wanted to get him so bad. There's your opportunity.
I don't know. You're
never going to get a better opportunity than that.
No clue.
Crazy.
In 1969, a bomb was planted in Bliss's truck. And when he started it, the bomb exploded, severely injuring Bliss.
Oh, like, it didn't kill him?
It did not. I don't know how it didn't. Because they interview the police officer or law enforcement officer. I'm not sure if he was police or sheriff or highway patrol, but law enforcement officer that arrived on scene, and he said he pushed his intestines back in. Yeah.
I don't like that.
He lost a finger. I mean, severe injuries. Was rushed to the hospital, but he survived the attack.
That's crazy.
Yes. Brinlee was arrested for the bombing, but was later released due to lack of evidence.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Years later, Don Boulding witnessed Rex Brinlee looking at a pickup truck that was later found to be stolen. And when he found out that that truck had been stolen, he reported the incident to police.
Okay.
Boulding was actually called to testify against Brinlee.
Okay.
So then he threatens Don and is like, you're going to recant what you said to the police or bad things are going to happen. And Don's like, too bad.
Okay, Don. All right.
And so then he tries to kill Don Boulding.
No, not Don.
However,
I don't like it. I don't.
However, it was his wife that started the pickup truck instead of Don. Yeah. So his wife was taking the truck to school that day. She's a teacher. She was a teacher. Yeah. And there was, I didn't put this in my notes, but there was a really sad story.
Okay. Go ahead.
A lady was driving her children to the babysitter so that the mom could go to work. And her son pointed out the window and was like, that's Miss Boulding. He had her as a teacher and saw her front half on the ground. Yeah.
That poor child.
Yeah. And his mom was like, no, it's just a mannequin. That's not her. But it was.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. So instead of getting rid of his witness, he just solidified his witness determination to testify. Again, you guys need to watch the documentary because there's a whole lot that I left out.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of legal proceedings that I leave out. That's actually interesting. It's just I did not take the time to put all of it in there.
Yeah.
So his attorneys, I mean, they try to change locations. They do all this. Like, he had several different legal proceedings that got pushed to different states because they were saying that everybody's against him. He couldn't get a fair trial. But eventually he's found guilty of the truck theft. On June 4th, 1971, he was arrested and charged with the bombing of Fern Boulding.
Good.
Yes. On November 19th, 1971, after I think it was like 5 days of testimony, like witness testimony, it was a lot. It was a huge amount. Yes. Jury went to deliberate, and after less than 3 hours, he was found guilty.
That's quick.
That's quick for a murder trial. So he was found guilty. I don't remember how much he was sentenced for, but it was a long time. With it might have been life without parole.
Okay.
I can't remember for sure. But that's not all.
Okay.
So I meant to ask my grandma before she went to bed if my great-grandfather was working during this time at the state penitentiary.
Oh.
I don't think he would have been, but I could be wrong. We might have to add like an extra like tidbit or something. But at one point my great-grandfather worked at the McAllister State Penitentiary.
Okay.
And in 1973, July of 1973, a riot occurred at the penitentiary in McAllister where Brinlee was being held as an inmate. Around 15 prisoners with knives attempted to start an uprising, and among the chaos, Brinlee was able to escape. He made it.
I think I heard about that. The riot there.
He was at the top of the FBI's most wanted list.
Wild.
Yes.
Bad seed.
Yes. The bomber and would-be mafia man, because I mean, like I said, everybody thought he was like part of the mafia, part of the mob, He reportedly appeared in several areas while he had escaped. He and fellow inmate Patrick A. Fleming stole a car in Marshall, Texas. The duo was stopped by police in Shreveport, Louisiana, and they released Brinlee after he gave the officers a fake name. He would later evade arrest in Orange County, Texas, before traveling to Biloxi, how do you say it, Mississippi, where he took up a job with a plumbing and heating company for a short period.
Okay.
I just find it interesting that he specifically went to Biloxi, Mississippi, with the potential ties to the Dixie Mafia.
He was in the Mafia.
He had to be, right?
He was.
Why else that specific town?
Had to be.
After telling the landlord with whom he was staying that he planned to go home, Brinlee was picked up by a man in Biloxi but didn't get far. Agents with the FBI, along with Biloxi police officers, surrounded his truck, and Brinlee was taken into custody after 45 days of freedom.
He evaded them for a long time.
He evaded them for a long time. So during that time, the families of both Bliss and Bolding were put under police protection. So like the daughters of both men talked about how like they were taken to and from school by police officers. One girl was at a church camp at one point, and like there was undercover agents at the church camp.
My goodness.
Because like they were like their fathers were on his hit list, and so they thought that they could be targets to get to the fathers.
How terrifying.
Yeah. A couple years later, Brinlee was assigned to a plumbing crew at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in 1976. The group included 7 convicts who escaped through a 170-yard underground tunnel to freedom. Then Oklahoma Governor David Boren ordered a statewide search for the escapees, who had used hacksaws and torches to cut through several steel tunnel doors and a wire fence.
Okay, I would applaud them for the ingenuity.
However, it wouldn't take long for Brinlee to return to prison this time. After he escaped, he spent a couple of weeks in the woods, not far from the penitentiary, but eventually he gave himself up. In this article, the person said he got eaten up by chiggers and ticks and ended up turning himself in because he was so ate up and couldn't get any help. Nobody would help him, so he ended up going into a little store down there around McAllister, and he turned himself into a security guard.
Listen, I would also turn myself in. I had to be stuck out in nature for even one night. I'm out.
Like, depending on the area, like ticks and chiggers are not a joke.
Yeah. Like, depending on the area, you can get eaten up so bad. I would also have turned myself in. And I like the outdoors. I don't, so it's not dependent on the area. For me, it is, am I outside? No, I'll go back to prison. So he also apparently sent like a threatening letter to some people. Apparently he told former Governor David Hall in a letter that he owed Hall and Tulsa attorney Patrick Williams about 4 sticks of dynamite. Cool. Because I can't remember, they had both done something with the legal proceedings while he was in prison. I think Williams ended up helping maybe his wife get a divorce. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, but he owed them 4 sticks of dynamite. Right. That's the logical next step here. Yes. So while the previous time was the last of his escapes, he also tried another attempt. Prison officials found a knife, a .25 caliber handgun, and 12 rounds of ammunition in his cell the day of the planned breakout in 1984. That's scary that he could get all of those items. All of those items. Mm-hmm. My goodness. Thankfully, in December 2009, Brinlee died at the age of 76, with 2 guards stationed in the hospital. All right. So, that is the story of Rex Brinlee. What a bad seed. Again, check out the documentary. So, the show, it's premiering in 2 theaters. The Tahlequah showing is already sold out. Oh, so this is like new. This is new. Like it's just recently been released. So it'll be shown on February 4th at the Tahlequah's Dream Theater, but again, it is sold out. And then it's also going to show in Muskogee on February 5th at the Roxy Theater. Cool. So if you guys are in those areas, check it out. Yes.
And at one point I saw something that said that it would be online, like
Oh.
sometime at the end of February, but it was already online.
Oh, okay.
It was on filmfreeway.com. Brinlee is the
Great.
name of the documentary. Like I said, it's about 2 hours, but well worth the time. I mean, very detailed. You've got great witness testimony. It's adapted from the book that there's a book.
Maybe that can be one of my 5 books this month.
Yeah, adapted from Jack Revis, Rex Brinlee, The Man and His Escape.
Cool. Cool.
Yes. So, yeah, and he's interviewed in the documentary as well. The author is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and the author had personal experiences with Rex Brinlee.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that sounds good.
Definitely check it out because there's a whole lot that I left out and it's incredible. So
Amazing.
Highly recommend.
Love it.
All right. That is the story of Rex Brinlee.
What a good one. I cannot wait to tell you my story.
I am excited.
I'm getting it pulled up on my my iPad here. So today I'm going to tell you. I'm so excited. I'm going to tell you about the Oklahoma Cannibals.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for this. I have not heard of this.
Oh, just wait. Feel free to comment on anything you would like because there's so much to comment on.
Oh, I can't wait.
Also, like, it's not like some dark, awful story. Like,
okay.
Nobody dies.
Okay.
So this is just a fun, ridiculous one.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's insane. It's insane. People are crazy, but like.
So nobody gets blown up in this one?
Nope.
Okay, great.
Nope, no bombs.
Okay, good.
Okay, let me just start out with my sources. So my sources are Daily Mail, The Oklahoman, USA Today, The Independent, New York Post, and oratoryofmysticalsacraments.org. We'll get there.
Okay. I was like, okay, solid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Switched it up on you.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I've been trying to figure out a good way to start out the story. Because wow, it's insane. Okay. So I think like the best thing I can do is just read you this headline from one of the articles I read.
I'm so ready.
Okay. Me too. Okay. Cannibal who castrated volunteer at $45 a night Oklahoma Airbnb cabin called Bob's Weekend Wonders is sentenced to 12 years in prison. Husband who helped operate, then offered to snitch on him, is released. I can't hold it together. So good.
There's so many different parts of that.
So many things to discuss. We'll break it down.
Okay, let's break it down. Airbnb name. Say it one more time.
Bob's Weekend Wonders. It's like a shed.
Okay.
It's also $45 a night. So
is there plumbing? Is there electricity?
I don't know. Don't know.
What are the wonders?
I don't think we know.
Okay.
Probably drugs.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
So anyway, let's just dive right in. Okay. On October 14th, 2020. Okay. The LaFleur County Sheriff's Office received a call from a hospital in McAlester, Oklahoma. Okay. Hospital staff were calling to report that a patient disclosed that he had been castrated by cannibals. Okay. So 2 days earlier, on October 12th, 2020, okay, a 28-year-old man flew from Virginia to Dallas and then was driven to a $45 a night Airbnb called Bob's Weekend Wonders in Wister, Oklahoma.
Okay, and did he know what he was coming for?
He had come here willingly for an illegal castration surgery coordinated through the website Eunuch Maker.
Did not know that was a thing.
It's a thing. There's apparently a whole group of people. It's called extreme body modification.
No kidding.
I was Googling some weird things today.
I bet. I didn't. Wow. Okay, so why do they want to be castrated? Do we know this? Interesting.
I'm really not sure.
Okay, so he flew from Virginia
to
Dallas and then was driven to Oklahoma to get his balls cut off.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Not what I would call a vacation, but okay.
Yeah.
You do you.
Are you ready to meet the Eunuch Maker himself?
Oh gosh. Who rents out Bob's Weekend Wonders to do castrations. Yes, I'm ready to meet this guy.
His name is Bob.
Oh my gosh. Is he the owner of Bob? Ah, okay.
It's his Weekend Wonders.
It's his Weekend Wonders, his castrating people. Okay.
So 53-year-old Bob Lee Allen ran the website and advertised that he performed the surgeries and that he videoed them for his own pleasure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the victim, whose identity is still undisclosed. We don't know who the victim is, so the whole time he's just called the victim.
I'm sorry. If you fly down there for that, your identity should be known. I'm sorry. I know. Maybe that's wrong of me, but
like he literally signed up for it.
He literally
had to register on the website Eunuch Maker.
You literally signed up for it, so you need your name out there.
Yeah. So anyway, the victim arrived at Bob's Airbnb, Bob's Weekend Wonders, on October 12th for his surgery.
Oh my gosh.
He reported that Bob assured him he'd done surgery many times, telling him no ER, no morgue.
Oh, I don't trust it.
He was also awake for the entire 2-hour procedure.
Oh.
But he had received numbing injections in and around his genitalia.
Oh, but he's
awake.
No.
So
I hurt. And I don't have those parts, and I hurt.
Yep, I know. I can't even imagine.
Okay.
Can't even imagine.
I'm in pain.
So Bob was joined in this endeavor, in his hobby of being Eunuch Maker. He was joined by his husband of 1 month, 42-year-old Thomas Evan Gates. Thomas didn't seem to have done any of the actual surgery.
Couples that castrate together stay together. Sorry.
It's really unfortunate that I already told my donkey testicles story on the podcast.
This would have been
a good one.
This would have been an even better time to tell that story. I knew you would have multiple opportunities to tell that story on the podcast.
Donkey testicles in my front yard.
If you don't know what we're referring to, go listen to a previous episode.
A previous episode in this season at some point.
Yes.
There were donkey testicles in my yard. It's quite a time. Anyway, so Thomas didn't actually do any of the surgery.
Okay, he just
filmed. He was the one handing him the surgical tools during the operation.
He was the surgery technician. Okay.
Yeah, he was the surgery tech for this.
Okay.
At Bob's Weekend Wonders. And
we all contribute different things in our relationships.
Yeah.
He was contributing.
I don't think he's quite pulling his weight in this one, but
okay.
It's okay. They were still in the honeymoon phase. They've been married 1 month. This is what they're doing.
Like I said, couples that castrate together stay together.
I guess so. But actually, no.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So, once it was over, Bob reportedly told the volunteer that he was going to eat his penis and that he kept others in a freezer. So that's great.
Okay, so I was imagining that it was just his balls. So
no, a eunuch is nothing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. From my understanding.
Okay.
A eunuch means there's nothing there.
I thought they still had that part and just no balls. Okay.
No.
My misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway, this story is insane. So, the victim also stated that Bob, quote, had 6 more clients on the way to have the same operation. And that Bob, quote, informed him that he had a freezer with body parts and showed him pictures on his phone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
hey, I've just gotta You know, instead of showing you my freezer full of beef, I'm just gonna show you my freezer full of human parts. Because that's happens every day. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So testicles were later found in a freezer during a police search.
Oh my gosh.
Although it is unclear if Bob followed through on his statement about eating any of them.
Okay, well at least there's that.
Yep.
Hopefully he didn't.
I hope not. Gross. This story's insane. It's just insane. So, after the surgery, if you can call it that, the man lost a considerable amount of blood. But
no kidding.
But Bob told him that he would not take him to the hospital, claiming instead he would, quote, dump him in the woods.
Oh,
he
nice.
Also told him about one man who he had just left to bleed out on the table overnight because the man was crazy, he said. It's unclear if he was joking or not.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
He also claimed to have 6 other people on their way to the cabin to undergo surgery.
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, though, he was bleeding like really, really bad, and so they decided to go ahead and take him to the hospital. So they dropped him off at McAllister Regional Health Center, where he relayed the story to staff. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no kidding.
Being at work and that's what you are dealing with that day?
Betty, you will not believe the day I had.
Can you imagine coming home after that? Like, honey, I'm home. I have to tell you.
I have to tell you. Are the kids in bed yet? Because I got a story.
Yeah. Oh, insane. So once at the hospital, he told the doctors that the men had tried to get him to participate in cannibalism.
Oh, God.
So apparently they probably did eat some.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Ugh. Okay.
So the pair then tried to visit him in the hospital.
No. Are you serious?
They told him to tell doctors that he performed the procedure on himself.
Yeah.
But they were arrested while trying to visit their victim in the hospital.
No kidding.
Yeah, so they went to the hospital to visit him and then got arrested.
Oh my gosh, how stupid.
Idiots. Absolute idiots. So police searched the cabin on October 15th, so the day after the call. And they found a freezer in Bob's bedroom, which contained testicles.
Oh my god.
They also found a 6-foot-tall medicine cabinet full of various medications, medical utensils, mushrooms in pill bottles, some sort of surgical tool with blood on it, and lots more, apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You see pill bottles with mushrooms in them? So were they like growing their own mushrooms?
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
But they were sure using a lot of
They were using a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured, but
I would assume. I think if your nickname is the Eunuch Maker and you're literally cutting people's penises off, then
you're probably on something.
On something?
Yeah. Or need to be on something.
Or should be. Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah. So Bob and Thomas were charged with, it's a long list.
Okay.
Conspiracy to commit unlicensed surgery.
Okay. Yes.
Practicing medicine without a license.
Yes.
/ unlicensed surgery. Maiming. Unlawful use of communication facility. I don't know.
Okay.
Distribution of CDS, controlled dangerous substance.
Oh, yeah.
Including possession with intent to distribute.
Yes.
Assault and battery with a dangerous weapon.
Yes.
Failure to bury dead human member. Which raises a lot of questions to me. Because, like, you know how after surgeries, they'll sometimes, like, give you
the thing that they take off or that they take out, yeah.
Is that technically illegal? Are you supposed to bury that?
No, surely not. But also when they give it to you, isn't it, like, in some sort of a
I guess it's different.
Solution or something?
I guess so. It's just weird.
So then it's already, like...
It's just a weird thing that you could be charged with.
That is.
I didn't think... I guess for, like, sanitary reasons.
Yeah, because, I mean, there is the charge of, like, improper disposal of human remains and stuff like that, so... It's
just a strange... I don't know,
that just sounds like they're probably tacking on as much as they can
to
increase charges.
So then also possession of controlled dangerous substance, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes.
So,
that all fits. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob pled no contest to felony counts of conspiracy to commit unlicensed surgery, practicing medicine without a license, and attempted distribution of a psychedelic mushroom. He also pled no contest to 2 misdemeanor counts, and he was sentenced to 2 years in jail and 10 years in prison.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he went away. He also
I'm surprised it's not longer.
Oh, well, nobody died. And the
that's
dude
probably
literally
true.
signed up for it.
That's
so, like,
true.
I'm kind of like,
that's
he
true.
signed up for it.
Were there actually more people signed up?
I don't know. I couldn't find any info, but like he had an entire website. He's a character.
Have they shut down the website?
Videos. I don't know.
Did you check?
No. I don't want to look this up.
Do you want me to look it up?
No, I'll look it up.
Okay.
I've already looked up weird things.
Okay.
Okay. I'm literally Googling Eunuch Maker. This is ridiculous. I mean, you probably can't find it just from Googling, right?
You wouldn't think so. You think it's probably like a dark web thing. I don't see it.
He's not the only one who called himself the Eunuch Maker. There was a Norwegian guy. He is much more well known than this guy is.
Oh, dang.
He's a wannabe.
Okay.
Anyway.
Maybe we'll have to do a sister country or something.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do like an international case sometime.
We should. That would be fun. Okay, so he also owes more than $5,000 in fines and other costs. Which like isn't really that much. But
I mean, it's not, but it is. I mean,
yeah, when you're renting out your Airbnb for $45 a night, you're not making that much off
not
of it.
making much.
So the felony maiming charges and 2 of his misdemeanors were dropped as part of a plea deal.
Okay.
So he didn't end up with like quite as many charges, but still a lot. So Thomas, who was released after being sentenced to time served in jail, owes more than $2,000 in fines and costs. And he had previously pled guilty to 3 misdemeanor charges on August 4th of 2021. And offered to testify against Bob in court. He turned on him so fast.
So couples that castrate together don't stay together. Yikes. Okay.
Not a good couples activity.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Do not recommend.
Do not recommend.
Don't do that on your next date night.
Okay. Yeah. Not gonna be on one of those lists of activities to do to strengthen the relationship. Okay. Good to know. Wouldn't recommend. I'm not gonna be on a Pinterest board of relationship date night ideas. Okay.
Cool. So I just want to like throw in a few fun facts about Bob.
Oh, I'm so ready for this.
So Bob, he ran a pop-up board game shop.
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting. He has like YouTube videos of him at conventions and stuff.
Oh my god.
He was at like board game conventions. Like
I didn't even know there was a thing called a board game convention.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I knew there's like Comic-Con, but that's different.
Yeah. No, there are like game conventions and stuff.
I knew there were like video game conventions. I had no idea there were board game conventions.
Well, because it's got like D&D and like things like that. Like tabletop, like that sort of thing.
Okay. I'm imagining people like playing Monopoly hardcore and checkers hardcore. And I'm just like,
listen, I don't know. I've never been. Who knows? Maybe they are. I don't know. But Bob is there with his pop-up board game shop.
Oh my gosh.
The Eunuch Maker is there. So she has videos of him like on YouTube.
I'm just imagining him creating his own board game and like the pieces are testicles and balls.
Gross.
Or testicles and penises, yeah.
That's so gross. I wonder what kind of game it would be. I want to name the game.
Oh no, instead of coins, but collect testicles.
But I feel like I can't keep it appropriate.
Yeah.
Like there are so many good name options for this game.
Ballbuster? No.
Appropriate.
Oh,
okay. Anyway, so he has a pop-up board game shop.
Okay.
Also called Bob's Weekend Wonders.
Gosh.
It's all like together. I don't know what's going on.
That's just his brand name and he has multiple facets to it.
He does, yeah. He in a bankruptcy filing in 2020. I believe it was 2020. That's what I could find.
Okay.
He reports that he tithes $267 a month to the Oratory of Mystical Sacraments. Have you heard of the Oratory of Mystical Sacraments?
Not before this case.
From what I could gather
Okay.
from their website, which was a bit of a mess, I must say.
Okay.
It's like a religious organization about using drugs, like psychedelic drugs and stuff.
Interesting.
I believe.
Okay.
Those are their sacraments.
Okay.
So let me just read
yeah,
what they said on their homepage.
Yes.
It's a lot of words that don't really say anything.
Okay. Yes.
So OMS, Oratory of Mystical Sacraments,
yes,
is an all-encompassing religious organization that respects, values, and draws upon the ethical, religious, mystical, and spiritual arts and wisdom of any and all Earth's peoples, developed or practiced at any point throughout mankind's existence, and has a nationwide network of members successfully exercising their rights to religious freedom and the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness as they pertain to sacraments. All that was one sentence, by the way.
So they were high when they wrote this. Yeah, okay.
It's a mess. Very convoluted.
They were using their sacraments when they were writing about the sacraments.
The sacraments OMS offers will help advance the human experience to one more suitable for all. And though they are not the only piece to that puzzle, they are indisputably an essential piece. The sacraments are drugs.
The sacraments are drugs, yeah. So drugs are essential to making humankind better. Okay.
Yeah. They worked wonders for Bob, so.
They surely did. They definitely made the human race.
I'm not judging anybody, not judging, whatever.
They definitely made the human race better in that aspect.
It's just wild to me. Gosh. I had never heard of it, and just the fact that was mentioned in an article about him, I was like, okay, Bob. All right, buddy. So for anybody wondering, Bob's Weekend Wonders is unfortunately no longer available on Airbnb.
Gosh damn it.
I looked it up.
I was wanting to stay in the Bloody Shed.
Yeah. Listen.
That could have been our weekend wonder.
My boyfriend and I talked about having a getaway there.
Oh my god.
But unfortunately it's no longer available.
It's no longer available.
So,
gosh dang it.
I know.
That's a darn shame.
I know. Would have been great. So it's no longer available on Airbnb, but don't worry, because you can look at an old listing of it on rentbyowner.com if you would like to see what Bob's Weekend Wonders for yourself.
Oh my gosh.
So just Google Bob's Weekend Wonders and it'll pop up. It looks like a shed. So
makes you wonder if there's even plumbing or a bathroom.
I hope there's plumbing and stuff because he was doing surgery out there. There should be running water.
Well, I mean,
there's at least electricity because, it said the freezer was in his bedroom, so.
So it might.
Is he there? If you book the Airbnb, is he there too?
Oh gosh, that'd be.
Maybe sometimes they are on Airbnbs,
That would be weird.
Anyway, that's a story about a cannibal who castrated volunteer at $45 a night Oklahoma Airbnb cabin called Bob's Weekend Wonders is sentenced to 12 years in prison. Husband who helped operate then offered to snitch on him is released.
Oh my gosh, that's the longest headline too.
It's a horrible headline. I'm sorry, that's really terribly written.
What
As somebody who went to college for that's horribly written. It's so long.
Which one did that come from? Do you remember?
Daily Mail, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, Daily Mail.
Good. It wasn't, but that's Daily Mail.
Yeah.
No offense, Daily Mail.
Sorry. Anyway.
You have some great articles, but your headlines do suck.
Oh, but they suck. But they're very funny.
They are very funny.
That is comedy gold right there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well done.
Thank you. I really, really wanted to find one that wasn't so dark because all of mine are always so dark. And I was just really excited to get one that's fun.
Wow.
It's fun and goofy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's awful too.
Yeah, it's horrible. But also the person literally signed up for it. So
it's hey, cut my penis off. So she asked for it.
So gross. Okay. Well, on that note.
How do we end up for that? Check out Bob's Weekend Wonders. Don't.
Or maybe don't. Yeah, maybe don't.
Let us know if you can find Eunuch Maker, the website, because I searched and I couldn't find it.
I bet it's gotta be on the dark web.
Dark web. I don't know how to get to the dark web.
Not either.
I know people who I'm sure know how to get to the dark web. We'll figure it out.
Maybe.
Figure it out. We're gonna find it. Just for you.
Or we're not. Is accessing the dark web illegal?
We're not.
We're not gonna
We
look
would
for it.
never do anything remotely illegal.
But I don't know if it's illegal or not. Okay, but we're not gonna do it. Okay. All right.
I'm definitely gonna do it. It sounds like fun.
I'm not.
Oh, I will.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode,
How could you not?
how could you not?
Follow us on Instagram at Spooky Okie Podcast. Send any story suggestions or recommendations to spookyokiepodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you support us on Patreon for access to our investigations, to like uncut. Oh.
Uncastrated, uncastrated, uncut.
To uncut versions of our episodes. There's gotta be a better way to say it.
Oh
to
my God.
versions of our
That's not better. Oh. To unedited?
Yeah.
Unedited versions of our
My
episode.
face is really red.
It is. You can even tell it with the filter.
Oh.
I mean, we don't use the filter. No.
No, we look perfect
All the time.
Yeah. I'm not broken out at all. See?
It fortunately doesn't edit out frizzy hair. You can
Mm.
still see my frizzy hair, but it's okay. All right, what were you saying? Oh, on Patreon. We just lost all our listeners.
It came out too.
All of our listeners are gone now. They're done.
Sorry. Support us on Patreon. Don't you want more of this?
No, they don't. They're done.
Nobody wants this.
Any chance of sponsors we had is gone now.
I didn't mean to make the joke. It was an accident. It just happened. We gotta get back on track. Goodbye.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.